They did what no other American soldier could during World War II. They wielded a weapon no other American soldier could use. It was a weapon learned in childhood. It was the Japanese language. These were the soldiers of the Military Intelligence Service, the MIS. At a time when their country did not trust them and they were stripped of their civil rights, these men were the first of thousands of Japanese American soldiers who defended the land of their birth.
This is our country. Japan is not our country. No matter how you look at it, you have to fight for your country. It doesn't matter who the enemy is.
Most of these soldiers were Nisei, or second-generation Japanese American. Some of these Nisei were Kibei, that is, they were born in America and sent to Japan to be educated. Ironically, while these soldiers were fighting an enemy that shared a common ancestry, their families were imprisoned in the United States by the same government the MIS soldiers had sworn to defend.
You take the oath to uphold the Constitution and fight for freedom and liberty, and to find your parents and siblings in camp. It was very difficult.
Japanese Americans in the Pacific War had to fight 3 wars. One was obviously the enemy and discrimination at home. But we in the MIS had to fight another war to prove ourselves in a battle, because we're always suspect of our loyalty.
The MIS soldiers interrogated prisoners, translated captured documents and diaries, intercepted communications, flushed out enemy soldiers and civilians from caves, and infiltrated enemy lines.
You got to know the culture and the background, because it's not just a matter of putting words together. It's a very complicated situation. You're not talking to friends, you're talking between 2 enemies, trying to get information to help your own side.
They didn't have the luxury of treating the Japanese soldiers that they were fighting against as non-human creatures. They knew they were human. They knew they had feelings. They read their diaries and letters. Even after the Japanese soldiers had died, they could read the soldiers' letters and diaries. They cried over some of this stuff.
After the war, during the occupation of Japan, the MIS soldiers helped establish peace and spread democracy in the Pacific.
Without the Nisei, particularly the Kibei, who had had both the advantage and disadvantage of having spent years in Japan learning the language, but even more important, learning the philosophy of the Japanese in Japan. Without that specific understanding, emotion, and compassion, it would have been impossible for MacArthur and the American government to have instituted the kind of democracy that Japan enjoyed and was able to accept at that time. So from that occupation viewpoint, the role of the Nisei in establishment of Japan as a democracy was absolutely essential.
Their service helped win another battle, the fight for redress, when the U.S. government formally apologized for imprisoning those of Japanese ancestry during World War II. The story of these veterans goes on long after their service. In June of 2000, more than a half-century after they served, these soldiers were honored with a Presidential Unit Citation. They had to fight for it because they never served together as a unit.
I just want to say that it is with the greatest feeling of humility and honor that I accept this prestigious Presidential Unit Citation for all of the men who served in military intelligence service during World War II.
There's no question that no matter what position any of us attain, whether it's me or anyone else in public office or in public service, we've only been able to attain those positions because of the past record of those in the military intelligence service, what our parents taught us, and To me, it's sort of a driving force.
A force that helped shape a people and a nation.